Here we are. It is 24 hours to car show. And this still needs to be assembled. Probably not going to happen, folks. The engine's all back together. I don't think it's been started yet. Still need to get the hoses on. We're going to have to modify the lower hose. And then I think that's done. The exhaust system is done. It came out looking awesome. Check out these pictures. And now we're stuck here. This is a deal breaker because it has to be, I can't drive it like that. And even tying it up somewhere, I don't trust it and I don't want to take a chance. So this filler neck has to be finished before I can take it out. So we've got the Maverick filler neck, and I think he bent up the pipe. And so it's just a matter of tying it all together. But once that's done, and it is running and driving, I can haul ass home with it and get the doors put on it, get the front clip put on it. Right now, what I need to do, but I don't know what is an extension cord in his shop, is I need to hit these welds with the flapper disc. I need to blow them all out. I need to etch prime them. And then I need to seam seal them. And get all this scuffed, which I can actually do right now. Get all that scuffed, get all this scuffed. I need to hit that weld with the flapper disc. This I think is already pretty well ready to go, other than it needs to be seam sealed. You know, all the welds there. I need to get these welds up here. That actually needs to be cut back off because I need to reposition it. But all these welds need to be hit with the flapper disc just really quick, just to get the real high spots up. I'm not trying to flatten them. Hit these back up, and then scuff all this, paint all this. Same thing here, same thing there. And then I need to paint this window opening. So basically that needs to happen tonight. And then tomorrow I can put the glass in. Same thing on the back. So I'm going to get busy and do what I can until he gets back. So we'll see what's going on. Okay, this is our modified fuel filler neck. We still need to cut these. Well, actually the 1/4-inch line we can bend. This guy here we're going to cut. And I got the hose. Little JB weld on the welds here just in case there's any kind of pinholes. Bracket. The charcoal canister goes on there. Okay, so it's going from there along the frame to here, and somehow, oh, that's interesting. Somehow we broke this guy. Unfortunately, there really isn't a way to fix it other than we're just going to cut this off there and see if we can't clamp a hose to it. Yeah. Okay. Back to work. Morning. It is Saturday. Technically day 2 of the car show. We completely missed last night's cruise. Everything trying to thrash the Rambler together. A lot of things didn't go like they should have, but here we are. Boom. There she is. Running, driving, caulked, or seam sealed. Fine. Windshield's in. It didn't quite go anywhere near as easily as I hoped it would. I need to get in here and paint. I'm going to get some of that acid etching gel, mask this all off, and then etch the glass so you don't see this, and then I'll paint it black. So much for putting the molding in. By the time I got that done, that's what it ended up being. Oh well. This door has issues, and this door has always had issues. And it got scratched all the shit doing all the power window thing, but so I don't remember if I pointed it out or not. That's loose. Anyway, but this door has evidence. This pillar was pushed in pretty good, that it got hyperextended, and so I think it's been bent out and pushed back. So I'm going to have to probably maybe get in there with the porta power and push those hinges forward and see if that doesn't do it, because that's about the best I can do. And you can see there's no door gap. Remember, both of those hinges were actually broke. I don't have the trunk closed up yet. Obviously I don't have that closed up yet. That's the muffler my buddy put on it. And, oh, yeah, the sound is going to have to change. So I got this all scuffed, but I ran out of window weld. There's the back window. The sound. Yeah, that's going to have to change. I am definitely not a fan. If it were a Honda, I'd be fine with it, but I guess technically it is a Honda, but yeah, no. And there's a rattle. Huh. That's weird. Gonna have to figure out where that's coming from. But anyway, we're just about ready to roll here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple things. I just about had this thing wrapped up. I was ready to go on a test drive. I made it about half a block up the road and it started pouring last night. We had a hell of a storm go through. And I mean, you can see it blasted the yard. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump on this again, and Luke's he's getting ready, and we're gonna head on down to the car show. Well, I really should have had Luke video as we're driving, but with things as hectic, trying to get moving, it didn't happen. So, all right, I need to get down there and get registered and get parked, or at least get whatever. I need to go up to the store and get some more window weld and get the back window put in. On to it. Well, here we are, about 10:30, Saturday night. Tried to keep this thing dry all this time, and as you can see, we just had a hell of a storm come through there, and my interior is completely soaked. Oh well, don't care. I guess the cruise is officially off, but people are still driving around. So that's what I'm gonna do. I've been waiting a year to drive this car. I'm not gonna let a little rain damp my spirits, so here we go. Alright, here we are, on the road. A lot of wind noise. As you can see, there's no weather strip. Got the windows in. We are cruising at about 68 miles an hour at 2,700 RPM with the cruise control set. flew in for the car show, which got canceled, unfortunately, by the weather. So I'm gonna go find her. Well, that's full. That's a fully charged battery.
Alright, well that doesn't look too hard. Yeah, let me take a picture before we do it.
My sister's airplane. right, people, it's been a long time coming. A year. I've been humping on this thing. So, I need to get busy. What the hell? See all those birds? Wow, that was weird. Huh, that was really weird. Anyway, I need to get on the trunk this Tuesday. I need to do something with this door. Let's see. So yeah, I need to get this capped. I need to get working on these. See what's happening. Looks like might be a leak there. Cause water looks like it got down there. I'm gonna have to take care of that before it starts really rusting. So I got a tag. Got the windows in. I don't really think I should drive it in the rain though, but it's running great. It's driving great. So far so good. I shouldn't drive it in the rain because this stuff is all still open. I don't want the water getting in there. So I need to come up with something for that. I don't know if you can see that very well, where the Honda ends and the Rambler begins. And I don't think there's too much up here to worry about. There's down there. But there is up here in the headlight area. Basically just throwing water up into the headlights. Can't have that. I think this side was worse. I don't know if any of this water would get inside the car. But we don't want it regardless. So what I need to do is just get some flashing or something and come up with like an inner sort of fender well there, maybe something up front. This needs to be done legitimately. I'm getting exhaust fumes into the car, and so that's a big no-no. I am gonna have to work on the hood eventually. Waiting on the trunk lid that I'm going to use. This is the original one. Matches the patina, which is nice, but you know, given this rust, and even worse, that rust, we can't run this. I am gonna need to come up with some weather stripping. I'm gonna play with this door though a little bit here before we work on the trunk. I need to see if I can't try to get this to fit better. As you can see, there's no gap, but there's no adjustment in these hinges. They used shims, and there's lots of mosquitoes around today. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna tighten up a couple bolts, make sure they're all good, and then go from there. I may have to get a sledgehammer on those hinges and try to knock them in a little. I don't know if you remember way back when we were working up here on the cowl. There's quite a bit of damage in here on this A-pillar from the door being hyper extended. And so by doing that, it's going to twist the hinge, or the A-pillar here, but twist it around. And remember, both of those hinges were broke. So I'm going to tighten up the hinges and see if that doesn't do something. I'll put a jack on the bottom here and see if that doesn't do something. I'm not going to go too crazy with that though. What I really probably need to do is pull the door off and then hit the hinge mounting places to see if I can't get it forward, because there's a good 3/8 inch gap between the door and the A-pillar. You can see daylight right through it, even with the weather stripping still there, or what's left of it. Okay, I'm gonna get busy. All right. That's a lot better, but it's still super, super tight. Actually, I think it's making contact there. But there isn't really anything I can do about it short of maybe get the pour powder in there, maybe get a torch in there and heat the hinges. The bottom hinge is cast, the upper hinge is pressed. One of the weird things is those, like the door latch won't even, you can see this is like the door striker needs to go in just a little, but it can't. It's already at the top of its limit, which is weird because obviously that ain't it. I do have another door from the green car, but it's not really any good. So who knows? We'll see. All right, I've gotten in a really bad habit of not recording things as I do them. So let me show you what I got done today. This is Wednesday evening. It is about 7:30. And I went ahead and threw those beauty rings on. I think it looks pretty decent. I did some work with some expanding foam. I'm not going to show you. It is closed cell, waterproof expanding foam. But still, it's expanding foam. I played with the door yesterday and got it better. Got the trunk all welded up. No, I didn't get it all welded up. I got the middle part welded up, so it's capped. Got a little bit of etch primer on it. Now I don't have to worry about stuff sliding out of the back of the trunk. I still need to deal with this. I've got the frame rails off the 61. I'm going to see if I can cut them down and make them work. The filler neck's kind of right in my way on that side. The muffler's in my way on this side. We'll see. I did cut this down. This is the back dash. And this fits wonderfully. The problem is, though, is where it sits is too low. The brake light is blocked off down here. You can't see it, so there's no point in even bothering. I'll just stick with my original plan. Get a piece of MDF, carpet it, vinyl it, whatever, and I have that stick-on LED brake light that'll go in there. I need to come up with a patch for that. Oh, yeah, there's one thing. I gotta cut this. Turn this bolt into a stud. I'll do that real quick. Yeah, so basically, other than the expanding foam, I went ahead and shot some black paint up in there to kind of hide everything. I did pick up a bunch of hardware today so I can get those panels put on, which is right here. I need to pull the window regulator off of it and pull that little panel. I'm missing one of them. That needs to be sandblasted and painted like the other ones were. Oh yeah, here's another little thing I did. Kind of got to playing with some of the wires and stuff and just checking things out to make sure I did it right. Here we go. There we are. I just kind of have everything hanging. I need to cut the hole here. So through the door into there, that's going to be fun. I'm not really looking forward to it, but I did get that put on. The amazing thing is we don't sell these buttons anymore. We only sell them with the double-sided tape on them, which doesn't hold, obviously, or we sell the adhesive, but we don't sell it with the button. So after that failed, I went ahead and just cleaned everything off and put the actual adhesive on them. Tomorrow I should be able to hang the mirror. It'll be a while before I get it wired up, but it'll be there at least. Okay, yeah, I need to depin that switch and get rid of the 4-window switch and replace it with the 2-window switch, but I haven't decided where I'm going to put it. Originally I was planning on putting it in here in the center console, but I think I might figure out a way to mount it in the door. I don't know. There's not a lot of places. I can put it up here, I could put it there, I could put it there. The speaker I was planning on putting over here, but I may not do that. Don't know. We'll see. Look at that. That is beautiful. It's dirty as hell, but it's beautiful. And they all are working, except I did screw up. I think I have the defroster plenums in backwards. One way they go closer to the cowl, the other way they come closer here. I didn't think there was enough clearance between the gauge cluster and the plenum, or the back of the glove box and the plenum. So I thought they went that way. Unfortunately, this one I cannot get to come back and line up. This one does, but not real well. I could probably do a better job on that. I may do a better job on that. There's this panel here I still need to put in, but before I do, I need to run the vacuum hose up through there, because this is where my vacuum gauge is going to sit. I've got it more or less plumbed, but it's somewhere in there. I got to pull it. This was an absolute bitch, by the way. I had Luke holding one side of it, and then me reaching up in there, and I don't contort that well anymore. So right now I need to drill the hole and get the cruise control switch mounted to the side of the plastic here, and then get that mounted. It's just going to go right there. I think it's a good place for it. And this panel is going to work. I got to make some brackets. So there's the cruise switch, there's the charge port, a little slot for me to put my phone, and it lines up with the CRV HVAC controls and the Civic center console. I need to make a panel for that to cover up all this. That'll come later. Same thing over here. Need to make a panel down here just to here. I need to wire up the fog lights to the switch, or the spotlights actually. I got a fog light switch. Somehow the top bolt needs to be tightened still, but it's literally between this and the side there, and I can't really get to it. I need to find a gear wrench and get up in there. Gauge cluster, well, I'm not going to call it a fail, but you can't read the tops, which is fine, because I was planning on putting a GPS speedometer in there anyway, like what I've got in the golf cart. That'll just go up here next to the vacuum gauge. But yeah, you can see the gas gauge just fine. You can see the temperature gauge just fine. You can see all the warning lights except the ABS, the supplemental restraint system light, and the two turn signal bulbs. You can't see them, but I can deal with that some other time. I can hear them click. They shut themselves off, so we're good. But for right now, I'm going to go grab the drill, take care of that. I also need to open these holes up a little bit so I can get the Honda visors to bolt in there. They will fit. So we're running out of daylight. I need to get busy. Okay, I got some Honda visors in here, and they work-ish. So as far as just a basic visor goes, they're fine. You flip them down. You know, they got all this crap on them that I don't want or need. But the bigger problem is, because of the angle that they're at, they're supposed to sit flat. So you try to move them, and that's what you get. So, yeah, they may or may not last. I mean, they might start sagging when you hit bumps, so we'll see. I've actually got the old frames. I've got some other ones too that are 3-bolt, which is weird. So we'll see what happens. So for right now, I got this mounted. I got this all put together, that in. I need to come up with a piston to put here. It'd be like well, it's not really a horn, but you know, it'll cover the middle there. Preferably the bigger one I can find, the better. I'll do some trimming so it goes around the spokes here, but well, actually that won't work. I'll have to do some trimming so it can turn, because it's got a thread onto this. But that's for a later time. As far as what we got going right now, this is good. I have work tomorrow. And yes, I will be driving this. But, yeah. Yeah, this is definitely coming right along. Hopefully I'll get that hooked up soon. I really am curious to see what this thing's pulling vacuum-wise. All right. But for tonight, that's it. I'm going in. I'm getting ate up by mosquitoes. It's about 8 o'clock, so it's time. Here we go. So it's been a long time coming. It's been June, late June, since the car's been in the shop. Now it's back. It's time to make it viable. I still need to weld the rockers. I still need to finish up the trunk. Those are two major structural things that need to be done ASAP. Front ball joints are horrible. Those need to be done ASAP. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go shoot a little bit of spray grease in them and call them good for now so they don't squeak. I need to pick up a couple more screws and finish this trim up around the windshield here. But yeah, we are on the road. This thing is officially, I guess, on the road. It's a little early with that welding still needing to be done, but yeah, whatever. It'll be all right. So that's it for tonight. That's it for this week's Rambler videos back. I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see.